Fishing. Nemesis beside a Lake District Tarn. As I mentioned in other videos, I was the manager of the Sheraton Hughes bookshop in Manchester. Sounds rather grandiose. In fact, there was just me, no staff. It was quite a small bookshop, but it was a very pleasant kind of occupation. The time came when one morning in walks a craftsman, workman, and informs me that the head office had decided that the floor covering needed to be renewed. It was a kind of very, very thick, kind of linery kind of stuff. And so he commenced work. He may have had an assistant, I can't remember, but anyway, it wasn't a huge floor area, but he set to work. Obviously, being a kind of sociable kind of guy, we got chatting, and a very interesting kind of guy, a little taciturn actually, but there we are. I would be 22, I suppose, at the time, and I don't know, the arrogance of youth, I suppose. But we got round to the subject of marriage, and I was really very opinionated and very forthright that never, ever, ever would I get married. No way. There was no way whatsoever that I was going to join the institution of marriage. I don't remember that he made much response to this, kept his thoughts to himself, and eventually, of course, the floor covering was finished, and off he went. We move on 3 years. By this time, I was living in Lancaster. This is something which I shall perhaps do a video of sometime in the near future. I'd been dispatched by Robert Maxwell to Lancaster, to the new University of Lancaster, as it were, then just about to open Bailrig, and I founded the University Bookshop. Anyway, one of my occupations, which I enjoy, was fishing, and of course there was a good deal of fishing available in that part of the world, in the River Loon and lakes and all kinds of stuff. But it was a kind of major thing in my leisure time. Excuse me. Anyway, on this one particular day, I had gone off on a fishing expedition with a friend of mine. I must explain, this was up in the lower Lake District, English Lake District. This particular small lake, or tarn, was really very remote indeed. It was actually set in a hollow, so you couldn't really see it. The road was some way away. It was really quite invisible unless you walked over the hill, and there it was. So anyway, a great place, lots of fish, and we're sitting by the lake, my friend and I, fishing away in pleasant kind of day, mega content as it were. Anyway, I suddenly look over my shoulder, and on the crest of the hill and walking down towards us was a man with a fishing gear. He strides into my direction and just like a few yards away looks at me very inquiringly. And then I suddenly realise that this individual, in fact, was the workman who came to replace the floor covering in Sheraton Hughes bookshop at Manchester University. He didn't sort of say anything immediately, but walked a few paces forward and looked me straight in the eye and said, "Did you get married?" To be frank with you, if I hadn't had a friend with me, I would have probably lied, but I was unable to do that, and I rather shamefacedly said, yes, I did get married. He didn't say anything, just continued to look at me and went, and then strode off around the lake and went to the very, very far side as far as possible from me. In fact, I could see him on the other side of the lake fishing. And that was the end of that very brief encounter. But it's very interesting the way things can catch you up, and particularly with it being such a remote lake, and the coincidence was extraordinary. I don't know. Sometimes I think these events may be preordained to educate us in some way. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please subscribe.